I wasn't supposed to be drinking in front of anybody at that point. So I had 3-ounce bottles everywhere. They were in my
Wow.
bag. I had them on me because they couldn't say anything about it. As long as it's 3 ounces, it can go through security. So
Wow.
I had it before I went into the bathroom. I'd go and drink a few. Then I'd get right through the security. Oh, I have to pee again. Go in 3 more. I mean, I had them ever, and to go home, same thing. I would find a liquor store, fill them back up, put them back on me, and bring them with me through security all over again. And I would always be sweating like, oh my God, not for security to find them, for my ex-boyfriend to find them and be like, what the fuck are you doing with fucking 15 bottles of vodka, in unmarked bottles in here? And I'd be like, I don't know, you know what I mean? So yeah, there was no waiting to get anywhere for me.
This is Rock Bottom with Ryan. No sugarcoating, no filters. The pain, the chaos, the truth. No bullshit. Just recovery.
Hey everyone, just wanted to thank you for watching another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan. This episode is brought to you by Sober Strong Apparel. Sober Strong Apparel makes heavyweight premium gear for people who take sobriety seriously. 10% of every order goes back to recovery centers. Sober Strong also runs an impact sponsorship program that puts gear directly into facilities for people just starting out. So if you're sober or sober curious or have a loved one who's sober, check out SoberStrongApparel.com. Use the code ROCKBOTTOM for 15% off. It used to be 10%, now it's 15% for a discount. And they have amazing clothes. I love what this company stands for. The quality is incredible. I mean, you can get these banners, you can get hoodies, you can get hats right here. No poison, no compromise. I mean, it's amazing. Love this brand. Love what it represents. Stay sober. Stay true. Rep the crew. Thanks for watching. Enjoy this episode. All right, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom with Ryan and Rachel, here with my co-host Rachel Sereni today, and we are brought back on Adriana. Adriana, how you doing?
Well, I'm back.
Hey,
Thanks for
girl.
having me back. I must have been okay. I didn't offend too many people last time, so I'm good.
Nope,
Hey,
you're
girl. Hey,
definitely
girl.
good, and we appreciated you being on the first time and sharing your story. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of laughter, a lot of ups and downs, and we liked everything we heard, and I think a lot of our listeners really got a lot out of it. So we wanted to bring you back on today to just discuss how we're all doing. It looks like Rachel, how many days sober are you today?
I am
622.
no, 600 and almost 72. I could check.
672.
I don't even.
I'm
count
492
anymore.
days sober today.
I think I'm
Apparently.
in like the 412, 413. It's funny, I don't check it though as rapid as I used to. I
Right.
don't check it half as much as I used to. It's very weird, actually. You know,
Well, either way, we got like
Exactly.
1,500 days of sobriety between us. So
I'm
that's
like
pretty cool.
at
that's awesome.
660.
It's a lot of sobriety
at
in one room.
662. 662 today.
That's awesome.
That's
Great
fucking
job.
crazy.
Loving it.
And we're all in
Everybody
the
around the
3
clock.
different corners of the U.S., so we should be proud of ourselves.
Yes, except you two got together. My invitation got lost in the mail, huh?
I know. We'll have to get you
Hey,
next
no, we
time
gotta
down to
make this
Florida.
happen. We really need to make
Just
this
invite
happen.
me when it gets warm again. Don't worry about it until then.
All
How's
right.
weather over there
Well,
right
I
now?
mean, that's tomorrow.
It's literally like every morning I leave the house, it's -2, and then it warms up to a solid like 10 to 12 degrees in New York right now. Yeah,
Jeez.
it's definitely going through it right now up here. We had a big snowstorm like everybody else knows, and it's just been kind of brutal since. So I'm just hoping for like the change soon. I'm not one to really complain in January because I live in New York in January, but this is
Yeah.
getting a little absurd.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm over here bitching about 30 degrees, so I can only imagine.
I mean, I'm
Rachel's
bitching, but
Rachel's probably complaining about 60 degrees.
No, it's fucking, we're having like a major cold front. It was in the 20s yesterday. Like the
Jeez.
iguanas, I'm not
Glad I
even
missed
trying to
that.
make you guys laugh. It's a normal thing. The iguanas were freezing out of the trees and they freeze and they stay alive for a couple of days and then they come back alive. It's really fucking creepy.
That's
Mhm.
really creepy.
I live in the Everglades. But
Yeah. So,
yeah,
Adriana, how's everything been since we last talked? Like, as far as how's social media going? A lot of the stuff. What have you been talking about lately? About all that stuff.
Life has been good. Life's been good because I feel like my emotions have started to really level out a bit, which is not where I was even when we spoke last time. It was, I don't even remember how many months ago at this point, but I was definitely still really like one good day, one bad day. So my emotions have leveled out a bit, which is making life more manageable for me. I Social media has been going good. It's a lot of work, doing what we do on here, but it's all for the right reasons. The reasons are all just to help the next suffering alcoholic and addict, in my opinion. So, the days that I'm tired and I don't feel like doing it, I just try to remember that like there's a reason behind it, you know what I mean? I'm not in it for the glory and the, sponsorships and all this other stuff that, maybe a lot of people are in it for. That's nice and dandy, but, I'm not out here charging people to hear what I have to say. That's for sure. I just want to help somebody, you know what I mean? It was so freely given to me. So, yeah, I just, I trying to transition a little bit out of like the trauma mode of it all. I have suffered a tremendous amount of trauma when it comes to my alcoholism the last 20 something years. The liver failure, the liver issues, the broken engagements, the this, the that. And it's like I don't want to live there forever. And it's so helpful to share that. But I got to share with people what it's like when you get out. You know what I mean? When you finally get out of that. So I'm in a weird transitional phase where I'm still sharing some of that, but I really want to start focusing on what life is like and what things look like for me, what I'm looking forward to. So trying to figure that out, balance, stay. I haven't mastered that yet.
I'm
well, you're
doing great.
doing great. You're doing great when it comes to, like, I noticed the series that you do. You did the cirrhosis series part. How many parts did it get up to?
That story ended up being like 17 parts of the cirrhosis story. Then it led into like questions, like very important questions. And then I don't even know. It took a couple lives after it because there was so much from it.
Yeah.
The hardest part about the cirrhosis series is, the people coming at me afterwards and were like, well, you just told us you had cirrhosis in this whole thing. And now you're telling us you don't. So what's the deal? And it was hard to explain to people like this was the diagnosis.
Yeah.
Because I wound up like this, has anybody ever misdiagnosed you? Like, you know what I'm saying? And as I was going through this all along, I was being told it was cirrhosis. You know what I mean? But and the other part of it that's really hard to explain to people is, you know, the cirrhosis being not reversible. When your cirrhosis hits a certain point, it is irreversible. Mine didn't hit that point. The level of it wasn't at the point. There's like literally a point. And mine, even though it looked that way from imaging, it turns out that wasn't a fact. You know what I mean? But the doctors go off of the numbers and the imaging. That's what they saw. So it was really tough to explain to people that I was able to heal from this. I'm not the only one, but a lot of people found hope in it, and then a lot of people wanted to tear me to shreds, like, "You're full of shit," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"I have nothing to prove to anybody. I know what I lived. I know what my doctors told me. I know what I went through.
Right.
If you choose to take what you need from the story and go with it, great. If you wanna tear it apart and be like, 'That's not possible. I'm gonna debunk you,' then spend all your time doing that, but I
People have
Right.
the lives when they want to try to dissect everything you said and the timelines and all that. But I can look at it right now. I'm looking at the picture, where it quotes, "You'll never have to worry about me again." And you look like you're like, you look like you're near death basically. And then look, now you have the sober glow going. And it's like
Yeah.
people know where you were, just by looking at pictures. So it's like,
Right. It's
why would
like,
they even
fine, as long
question
as
Yeah.
that?
if they can take from it and see the liver failure to now, then take that. All the logistics of the cirrhosis and the this and the levels and the that. That's all a bunch of, side to the fact that that stemmed from liver failure and was caused by liver failure and my liver dying basically as I'm polluting it, which is very possible
Yeah.
at the age of 30, which is what I really wanted to bring light to was as we're seeing the younger generation drink like less, which is great, but there's more people our age now, 35, 36, 37, that are being diagnosed because they were drinking like that all along. Yeah, great. We got the Gen X that are done with it, but what about the people that didn't hit that? They were still in it. So it was really important for me to share that part.
It is.
No,
It
and
is.
you did that. You helped probably so many people, so many people. And I know
I
you, and
know.
I dare people to come at you.
I know
Well, it was
exactly.
also besides it was helping people that experienced it, the biggest part was families. I have messages up the ass that are just like, my sister's going through this. My mom died this way. This is what my best friend's going through. They got to see it from a perspective that they don't understand usually. These people in their lives can't articulate it this way. So them hearing it from somebody else, me being like, I see I'm yellow, but I can't stop drinking because I have such a bad addiction and they needed to hear stuff like that to realize it wasn't like their families and friends just hating, like not caring about what they felt or thought or felt, that it's addiction and it needed to
Yeah.
be kind of told that way. And yeah, I mean, the people that came at me, they actually should have learned by now you're fucking with the wrong person because I've done some shit at this.
Yep.
Exactly. And Rachel's got your back, and that's
Don't
scary enough right there. So,
She has my back too. Don't Yeah, really, like, we all have each other's back. Like, don't fuck with us. Don't do it.
but I like that you talk
Especially her
about
though.
cirrhosis of the liver because I follow a ton of people and I look at all their posts. You're the one who goes in the most depth about information and background about cirrhosis. And I didn't know much about it until I started watching your page. So it's really
Yeah.
informative.
It's just something I'm unfortunately slash fortunately very, I've educated myself on. And I guess the hardest thing for me to, was to explain. Because if I barely understood how I went from A to B. So I needed to figure out and do my own research. How is this possible that I could go from this to this? And, the abstinence in between and all the time and the times that I did try to take care of myself and my age and, those things all factored in. And I had to educate as to why I survived this. Because I have people saying to me, my 60-year-old that dad uncle is going through the same thing, but they're saying he's not going to make it. And it's like, I don't want to say what I know, but all I follow up with is like, guys, you got to remember, I was 30. I was 30. I was so young. Being young is what they said it all along is what saved my life. So it's like that's what it is, and it's like it's hard to listen to you hear it for older people because it's not as easy to get out of.
Yeah. And how long was the process? I mean, you probably talked about it in our previous podcast, but like, how long was the process of like them telling you, hey, you're on the path to dying, basically, to when they said, hey, your body's starting to recover? How long did that take?
So this happened at the age of 30. I had to keep following up for many years after. For the first 3 years, I was stable. Like my numbers and my liver numbers, my enzymes, everything had stabilized, but there was a lot of what looked like scarring. So what they had told me was that I still needed to get my blood work done. I needed to abstain. I needed to just let the liver heal and that it would heal because it wasn't in that what they thought that last phase was. At least they didn't think they thought it might be, but the only way to give it a chance was for me to abstain and everything else. So the process of knowing that I had cirrhosis and that I possibly could die at a younger age was like the first 3 years. Once I got past 33, 34, they started to say, hey, things are starting to look better. Like, there's a good chance this didn't take any years off your life, but keep doing what you're doing. But remember, that was before I started drinking. I had probably had one or two or three or four drinks within like that 4 year time span. I mean, I had not touched alcohol in the way that I had been drinking. And then as the years went on, COVID started to hit and I didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to the doctor for a few years. I also didn't go to the doctor because of the fact that I had started drinking more frequently and I was afraid. And then it was when I went to, right after I got out of rehab, I decided to make an appointment and I made an appointment. And that was when they told me that things were looking really good. And I was already on a list where I only had to go once a year at this point. I needed to just keep following up and making sure that things were still functioning properly. So as the years went on, obviously it was on an uptick of getting better, even though I was still doing some things I shouldn't have been doing. And then the final prognosis was this past November when I went, after I had already had almost a year of sobriety, was when I went, and I'll just never forget it. I was sweating and I was so upset because there was a lot of questions I had never asked before. And I was ready to ask because I still was have to see this doctor. So I finally wanted to know at this point, like, what, now that I've done this damage, what's happening now? Like, you know what I mean? And finally, the doctor came in and he had like two pieces of paper in his hand. He's like, I have really good news for you. Just sit. Oh, no. When I first got there, he said, I need to do a fibro scan on you. I had
Yeah.
never had a fibro scan. I'd never had a fibro scan before. Everything that was diagnosed from me was from a biopsy and from imaging from an ultrasound.
Mm.
When they did the fibro scan, a fibro scan is what tells you what F level you are in like fibrosis, cirrhosis, when fibrosis goes to cirrhosis. And he said, I need to do the fibro scan. That's the only way I'm going to know exactly what level you're at. And I'm like, okay. I was terrified. I said, I've never had this done before. So now I'm going to go. Now they're going to tell me you did this much damage and you're still really sick. The reason they didn't give me a fibro scan before then was because my numbers were fine. So if my numbers were fine, there was no reason for the fibro scan. But I wanted the fibro scan. I wanted to know finally where I was in this. And when he came in, he's like, I have some incredible news. I mean, I started crying before he even started speaking. And he's like, your scan shows an F0. And F0 means that you do not have liver disease. You do not have anything going on. Your numbers are fine. And you don't even have to come back to me next year. What you need to do is just get your blood work done regularly. And I'll send it to my office. We'll check it. As long as it's fine, you're fine. You're not going to be my patient anymore. And I was like,
Wow.
what? Like, what? I always say, like, for some reason, God put his healing hands on me and fixed this because this is
Uh-huh.
not where we were 10 years ago. This is not what was in my diagnosis, prognosis. It isn't. And I got the paperwork to prove it, but, that's not for me to do. That's the truth. And it's
Yeah.
incredible to me that
Yeah.
that's what happened to me. It's very, very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this
No,
the same
incredible.
doctor that like saw you when you were early 30s in the hospital?
So I ended up having to see his partner because in
Mm-hmm.
COVID, because I didn't go back for 4 years, they were like, you can't see your old doctor. First of all, he's for like very severe patients. And they were like, in that time frame, he had taken on how many new patients since then. And they were like,
Right.
if you wait to see that doctor, you're going to be waiting another 2 years. But he has a partner, Dr. Petula, and Dr. Petula works one-on-one with him. He's told him your whole case and he's taking you over. I said, okay, no problem. And this guy knew everything. And I had seen him for the last like 3 years. And
Yeah.
he was the one that gave me the good news. So
Dang.
Yeah.
That's so
Can I
awesome. I'm proud of you.
proud of you too? Yeah. Can I ask what was more satisfying in your sobriety so far? Was it the physical improvements, or was it the emotional improvements, or both, or a combination?
Mm.
I'm going to be completely honest. It's both because I'm a bit vain.
Yeah.
So am I.
It's you know what I'm
Spas.
saying?
You
Like,
love spas.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I am so glad that my outsides and my insides are starting to mesh and they're starting to meet. And that is what I am the happiest about. You can do all the things you want to your outsides, but if you're deep down still unhappy, it will show through your eyes. It will show through all of that. And I know that I don't give that look off anymore like I'm unhappy. And that is where it comes from. I mean, I've gotten much healthier, obviously. I just feel better mentally, emotionally, and physically all around. So like the fact that everything's meeting is what I'm the happiest about. I've done some things. I have no problem. I went and I had my lips done. I had some like filler put in my lips because I was always self-conscious about my lips, and I was turning 40, and I'm like, I have been through the ringer. I have been through so much, and I am so proud of what I'm doing. I don't care what anybody else thinks about what I'm doing or how I'm doing it or what I want to do to myself. And I used to care. I used to care. Oh, I don't want anybody to know that or think that or this or that.
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to do it. As long as I don't drink, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And I've just been doing that. You know what I mean? So I'm happy
Oh yeah.
about the fact that they're connecting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, that's
I could
great because
relate.
I see you talk about cirrhosis, and then sometimes I see you just like even on your profile it says, showing alcoholics what's possible when you stop drinking, rebuild your life with honesty, but not perfection. You say you're vain, but you're okay with the fact that we aren't perfect. So yeah.
That's the whole thing is like, I'm not like we were talking about before we got on here. Like, there's no perfectionism in this, and I'm never going to say something that's not real or truthful
Yeah.
or how I really am or what I really think. You know what I mean? We were just talking about the non-alcoholic beverage, drive. I think it's amazing for people in that are finding recovery with it. I'm all for it. But for me, I'm not for it. I'm not for me. I'm not going to be sitting home pouring myself a non-alcoholic sparkling wine because there's
Yeah.
a few reasons to that. I want to break the habits that I had that were associated with that behavior. So I don't want a fake version of it. This Coke Zero is just as delicious. And I'm good with that. And like, not perfect by any means. I still fumble on a daily basis with certain things. I'll be the first one to talk about it because I'm not going to sit here with I love there's so many diverse sobriety counts, but there's a lot that just make it look like it's fucking all wonderful. Like,
Yeah.
it's not wonderful.
It's not perfect.
I'm still feeling
Yeah.
things I haven't felt in a long time. I'm still going through a lot internally, and I'm going to talk about it on here so that the person that sees my account is like, I can relate with that, not sees the people that are out in the city going out and every night and having a good time and listening to DJs with non-alcoholic beer and shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's cool. That's a great thing, but that's not me. I barely still want to go out now. It has nothing to do
Right.
with the alcohol. It has to do with the fact that I still don't want to be out. I don't really care. I'm realizing I'm an introvert. I'm realizing I'm not as social as I thought I was. I'm realizing that I kind of like being boring and home. And I want the other stuff alcoholic out there to realize it's okay to sit home and be okay with that. Don't think you got to be out in the scene and prove to everybody how cool you are around alcohol to show how sober you are. Like, if you gotta want to stay home because that protects your peace, your sobriety, I want to show that to the real shit. I don't know.
It is,
Yeah.
and it is real. Like this
Because it's
recovery
not
is real,
effortless.
and real life still happens. Not effortless. Yeah, I mean that's
Not
It's not
effortless.
funny
effortless.
that you guys mentioned that word because in the daily reflection today it talks about effortlessly, getting into recovery and stuff. I'm like, it took effort to drink, and it made everything else in my life require more effort. So no, it's nothing effortless about it.
Or like
And
in
we can't
120
sell that
days
kind
or
of
something
lie.
like that. It's a
Yeah,
lie.
yeah, no,
I won't sell that lie to somebody and
Never.
make them think that it's like that because then you know how discouraged people would get out there. Man, I don't feel good in 20 days like you told me I'm going
Yeah.
to.
yeah.
I'm gonna go drink
It's
again.
false,
Or
complete false
And
hope.
they're
yeah,
paying
it's like
money.
we
And they're
gotta
paying
show.
money.
Yeah,
No,
They're paying
I just
money.
want to be
That's
as
what hurts
authentic
so
as
bad.
possible.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
I
you
mean,
are.
recovery can be kind of a bitch sometimes, but there is support out there to help you through it, and there's people that can relate to how big of a struggle it is.
Yes.
True that.
Yep. So,
100%.
yep.
And you're doing it.
Yeah.
And you're doing it. You have that group chat too. You have the group chat too. I'm in it.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out what direction to really go with that too because again, I think just putting some positive things out there. Sometimes people just need to hear something positive in their day. They
Yeah.
don't need, more than that. They just need, sometimes we just need a glimmer of hope in your morning. If you stub your toe and you're pissed off and you just read like you're dope. Like somebody's going to be happy enough just to see something like that. You know what I mean?
I'm not
But
in this
yeah,
group chat. Where was my invite? I must have got lost in the mail.
Girl,
it's
oh,
no,
that
it's
was
not.
good.
It's
I'm just kidding.
That was
I just
good.
needed a little payback there. Sorry.
well,
Damn.
Just kidding.
Are there
I'm
men
just
in
kidding.
there?
yeah, it just
I
I
didn't
had
know
put it
this.
as made a group and saw who wanted to get into it. I don't know, but let's be serious, right? I don't put, and Rachel knows I don't post a whole lot in it. I'm
I
always
know.
just kind of like
Mhm.
putting what's your favorite movie, like just trying to
Yeah,
like keep the
vote
chat
here.
alive.
Just talking
Yeah.
about Mean Girls before you hopped on. So yeah, it's a great movie.
I love Mean Girls.
It's a classic. It's a classic movie.
Totally.
Mhm.
I like that movie when I was drinking. I love it even more sober. So
Well, I just like that I can remember movies now. I know what's
yeah,
going on. I don't have to rewatch it 6 times and be
I've
like,
seen
Well, I
hey.
so
get
many
to
movies for the
rewatch
first
it
time.
all over again. I get to rewatch it all over again like it's a brand new movie. I've watched it before, but
Yeah,
it's new to me because I watched it blackout for the first time.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yep. So many shows I've rewatched and actually liked them. I was like, I didn't like Game of Thrones. Well, maybe because I watched it blacked out. So I gave
Well,
it
No,
a
that's not my thing.
yeah.
this year
Reality.
I was an anti Game of Thrones person. I was like, I am not watching this show. I don't like Dungeons and Dragons and I
Yeah.
don't like things that are fake. And someone convinced me to watch it. And I'm like, all right. So first season took me a little bit, but then I was obsessed. But let me tell you something. All these other little spin-off things they've made from I
Yeah.
don't like them. They're
Yeah.
terrible. So I'm not into that. And I'm probably going to rewatch Game of Thrones again because even though I watched it sober, there's still stuff I feel like I missed. There's other people that have watched it like 4 times. So I'm definitely going to rewatch it for sure.
Yeah.
I
I've,
liked it.
I've been
Fuck.
watching this show called Mayor of Kingstown, and Jeremy Renner. It's based in Detroit or whatever, but Jeremy Renner is the main character, and he basically likes, I noticed in the first episode he's spiking his coffee with whiskey and stuff, and then his secretary notices like, hey, if I put a match up to your coffee, what would happen? And he has to admit to her that he's been drinking in the morning. So I was just like started to relate to that as I kept watching the show. So much morning drinking.
What's
Nothing
happening
like
at
that
work?
morning drink.
I know. I remember doing
No,
that,
I'm
not because I
noticing with
wanted to, but because I
patients.
had to. Yeah.
Patients are coming into my office and I'm smelling the alcohol on them and I'm freaking out in my head. One guy, I honestly had to go and tell the doctor. I'm like, he is highly intoxicated. I have to let you know prior to you entering the room. It was so bad. I had to make sure he got home. I had to call him. This happened last week. I'm like, there's more people than we think really seriously on a daily basis drinking in the morning. Like for real.
So
And I
true.
mean, we were all one of them, but it's just wow.
Did you guys
And we could
notice as
smell
your
it.
alcohol progressed? Did you guys notice, like, as your alcoholism progressed, that your times of starting drinking just got earlier and earlier?
I mean, when I go back to, when I was 30 before I got sick, I mean, that was really bad. I mean, that was every day. But then the progression of alcoholism, as we know, like that's how it, before I went to rehab again, I mean, yeah, I had lost my job and then I was sitting home and that there was no time that mattered to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think it like was a later to earlier thing for me. I think all of a sudden it was just like, well, I'm just going to drink whenever the fuck I want. And that was the morning sip, you know what I mean? And it was definitely not a way of life that I miss by any means. I'm actually so repulsed by it now. It's just like,
Yeah.
I hope I'm repulsed forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I could agree. I started
Same.
drinking by like at least 7, 8 a.m., even earlier, depended on when I could get my son to school.
Yeah.
If I wasn't taking shots prior to dropping him off, hey,
So,
I admit it.
random question. Do you guys miss the chaos? Yes or no? At
Hell
all?
no. No, because I made chaos horrific. I had to speak up quick. Roger Rachel wasn't fun.
Knuck if you buck, Rachel?
No, yeah, she wasn't fun. She was scary.
That's Rachel's theme song. If her drunk side had a theme song. So, what's yours, Adriana? We never asked you that.
My drunk theme song. Oh no, I'm going to have
Gee,
to think about that.
Okay. We'll come back
I
to
don't
it.
Yeah,
Like
we'll
a
have to
G.
come back to it. Let me tell you something, because I just said I'll always be honest. I don't miss the chaos. I do miss, there was something that I used to do. I used to date people when I would go and start drinking again, I would date people that didn't know my history. So I was able to be whoever I wanted to be and I could lie. Like I didn't have to say I had a drinking problem. You know what I mean? These people didn't know. So I was in this fake bubble of life, like seeing somebody doing the usual, hey, come over, let's have a glass of wine or two. Even though I had four before they came over, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have a casual night with them, drink, send them on their way. And, not that I missed that, but it was like, okay, who doesn't it was a little fun at some points, it's not all misery and a lot of it's misery, but I don't miss
Mhm.
it, but I'm gonna say that wasn't like the worst part of the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
you asked me to be honest.
No,
I
I like
mean,
it.
sure, if I was able to the nights that I didn't do blow and, like, end up staying up until 6 AM, like, any of those cool nights, yeah, sure, like, for me, maybe 25% of the time was not chaotic, so those times I miss, sure, when I wasn't getting a bag.
What's one habit you guys had to relearn in recovery?
Hmm. Rachel?
Relearn, habit, habit, routine. I mean, I'm really disciplined now, and I didn't know how disciplined in my potential I really had until I got sober. Now I'm waking up at 5 AM every day and hitting the gym. That would not have happened.
Yes.
It's happening.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Mine would
mine's
probably be
Right.
consistency.
mine's communication. Yeah. Consistency.
Consistency. Yeah, like being consistent, like, and I still am not good at it. I do my best, you know what I mean? But I try to be consistent with the things I'm doing in my life because just like anything else, you can't do something for 3 days and expect a different result. You need to continue. So even on the days I don't want to, I just have to remember I got to do it. I mean, that definitely, comes to my 12-step program. There's a lot of times I'm like, it's 2 degrees out and I have to be there at 7 a.m. That's when I go. And
Mhm.
I put that aside and I get up and I go because I have to, I have to remember what I'm doing here. So that's definitely consistency for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said communication, Ryan?
Yeah, communication. I just realized like when I was drinking, I just even if it was texting or keeping in touch or maintaining relationships, I still had trouble doing that drinking, but it was like the exact same thing that I thought it would improve the day I came out of treatment or whatever when I got my phone back and this and that. But I was exactly the same and I had to like be like, "Hey, I'm sober now. I actually have to communicate with people and like I have no excuse now because I'm not drinking and stuff. These are the people I'm communicating with now are people that weren't my drinking buddies, so they don't understand. So just trying to be a better communicator, a better friend, more reliable as far as that goes. So that was something that I'm still working on to this day and I probably always will be. And I'm, as you know, Rachel texting me sometimes is like, you won't hear from me for a few hours. And then all of a sudden I'll be part of the conversation for 5 minutes and then I'll disappear for 5 hours. So those are things
Yeah.
I'm actively working on. Yeah.
No, but I know to just send you a shit ton of stuff and then you'll just reply all at once. That's what
Yeah.
we do.
Yep. So that's
If
something
we
I
can
just want.
if we could be 1%, one smidge better than we were the day before, we're doing just fine.
Yep.
Yes.
If
100%.
if alcohol had a voice and it was trying to lure you back, what would it say to you guys?
Come isolate with me.
Damn, that's cold. It would say, Ryan, you can handle just one. No. And I'd be like, fuck you, you're lying.
You are a liar.
I would say, what did that bitch just say over there? What? I always started shit. No, mine never made sense. My drunk self. But
Yeah.
definitely I love the isolate. Come isolate with me. Because
That's so
I really
honest
did
too.
sit on my bed
100%.
drinking wine for hours from 7-Eleven. Those beatbox drinks, I really was
Yeah.
going to 7-Eleven. I get very triggered in there too, in a weird way. I can't explain that emotion going into
Weird.
7-Eleven.
It's shame. It's shame and like remorse.
Mhm.
But like for me, the isolated part because for the last 10 years, my drinking had to be such a hidden thing. You know what I mean? Like pre getting sick, it's like, yeah, Adriana was party girl and she was out and that blah blah blah. That wasn't it for the last 10 years. I always had to make up a story as to why I was drinking. "Oh, it's this person's wedding, and of course I'm gonna have a drink." And then if I wasn't doing that, it had to be home and hidden and away. And so for me, it's that's what it is. That's why the isolation, because I did my best work alone, and I was forced to do my best work alone, because if anybody saw me behaving this way, there would have been a problem. So it was,
Mhm.
it was a very hidden disease for me. So it's a it's an isolated thing for sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Such an honest answer
definitely.
too. And gosh, yeah, it made me isolate way too much to the point where people thought I was dead half the time. Some people were making wellness calls for me when I'd go on a bender sometimes. And I'm just like, am I that gone? It's like that people actually have to have cops come to the house. Yeah.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Sucks.
Pretty crazy. Yeah. It's scary looking back at it though. But what would you guys say is
Yeah.
the most overrated drunk activity now that we've all been sober this long? We look back. What would you say was overrated as far as drunk things to do?
Sitting at a bar
No shit, that's a good one. Just sitting there watching nothing on TV,
for
BSing with other
6
There.
alcoholics.
hours and
Yeah.
talking to people you'll never see again.
Who don't give a
Mine
shit about
mine
your life.
has to be vacation. Like, I went
Mm.
on vacations and I would just waste the whole vacation being fucking drunk and sneaking drinking and the whole mind game of it. I went on vacation for the first time this past summer with my family, the same place we always go, and it was a different thing because I wasn't scheming the whole time. I could be present for what was going on, and it was such a different thing, you know what I mean? So, vacation, because I mean, I don't remember a vacation where my drinking didn't start the morning I woke up or the night before and continue until getting back, because even when I got home, I was so hungover and I couldn't handle that coming down, drinking more. And my ex-boyfriend being like, "Why do you still smell like alcohol from 2 days ago?" I'm like, "Oh God, it's just the way my liver processes things. It's so weird, right?" Like,
They're still
I
drinking.
mean, yeah, when I was really still drinking, it's like sick. So, vacation.
Yeah, when I would plan for a vacation, I would drink in the morning before heading to the airport. I would have little water bottles filled with wine so that I could go into the bathroom before security. I would chug those, and then I would have wine or liquor in my check-in bag so that it was ready for me when I picked it up at the airport after going to the bar to my destination to the bag check. I would have
Now,
everything
I
just
have you
planned.
all beat. I have you all beat.
Yeah, she
I've
does.
told everybody how I have everybody beat. I used to take 3-ounce bottles of what you put shampoo and conditioner in and stuff, because that
Genius.
can go through in your regular bag.
That's
I
genius.
Oh,
wasn't
fuck.
gonna go without, and
Yeah.
especially because I had to sneak because I couldn't drink. I wasn't supposed to be drinking in front of anybody at that point. So I had 3-ounce bottles everywhere. They were in my
Wow.
bag. I had them on me because they couldn't say anything about it. As long as it's 3 ounces, it can go through security. So
Wow.
I had it before I went into the bathroom. I'd go and drink a few. Then I'd get right through the security. Oh, I have to pee again. Go in 3 more. I mean, I had them and to go home, same thing. I would find a liquor store, fill them back up, put them back on me, and bring them with me through security all over again. And I would always be sweating like, "Oh my God," not for security to find them, for my
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend to find them and be like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you doing with fucking 15 bottles of vodka, in unmarked bottles in here?" And I'd be like, "I don't know," you know what I mean? So yeah, there was no waiting to get anywhere for me.
No, you had me beat.
Mm,
I thought about filling up 5-hour energy drinks, but I was like, I don't want to get caught and sent home or whatever.
it's crazy. No, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
But no, you're
I'm a
creative. You
little
got more creative.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to admit this because it sounds nasty, but I have admitted and said this plenty of times. I was not a nice drunk and I was very bossy too. If I didn't get my way, it got even worse. So instead
No.
of hiding it, like I'm about to explain, instead of hiding it, I mean, there were times that I would hide it to drink before leaving, like get wasted because I know I'm not going to be able to hide it. And whoever I was usually with, and I'm not joking, whoever, I would make them stop and I would get my alcohol. I would get my alcohol while I was out and I stopped hiding it. I didn't give a fuck. I did not care. And I just kept drinking in front of family, in front of my dad, my older father, my son, my fiance. I didn't give a fuck. I just kept doing it. And I would black out and I always caused problems. I was just a nasty bitch. I was just a nasty bitch, really. And that's also when the isolation started happening and I couldn't hold a job. That's when I knew, okay, not only are you a nasty bitch, you're starting to isolate and you're really unhealthy. You're starting to show signs of the cirrhosis thing that I looked deep into, and it's time to quit. But I was really, really nasty. I wasn't even hiding it. Like I would hide it just to go out. But when I was out, I would get it regardless.
Yep.
So
We
it's
always find a
embarrassing
way.
to admit, but that's how I was. I always found a way. I didn't care. And if I didn't get my way, I would cause fight to the point that I was so enabled by the people that loved me or that love me that they were afraid of not getting it because of how I reacted.
Yep.
Yeah, I completely understand what you're saying there.
I still want to meet Ratchet
Yeah.
Rachel, and I still want to meet Gumby too. Still think the three of us should
I
kick it in
don't
our dreams
know.
sometime.
Oh.
I mean,
Hey,
you
so we'll
have
make
met
AI
me.
versions of us.
We can. That would be actually really fun. If somebody knows how to do that, please reach out.
That would be a fun
A Ratchet
episode,
Rachel.
TV show. Yeah.
That would be fun. But I mean, you have met me in person. I'm just when I was drunk, I was just 10 times more vulgar. I don't know.
He's
I
like,
know.
if that's
He's
possible.
like,
And
"What?"
Rachel
Yeah,
defines
he
me
just
as
said,
this
"Wow."
quiet, you know, soft-spoken person. I'm like, man, if she's calling me soft-spoken, what is she? You know, because I don't think most people that know me are like, you're not very soft-spoken. But all right. So if
Yeah,
Rachel's calling me
you're
that,
very
I'm like, what does
observant.
that say about her? Yeah, I like to people
No,
watch and analyze. I'm kind of like the
me too.
silent observer, that's why owl is my spirit animal. So I kind of like just
Oh,
reading the room a little bit. You know, I don't like to, say everything that's on my mind quite yet. So,
I'm
but
the
that's
same.
always been my personality. Even when I was drinking, I was pretty much the same. Maybe a little more on edge, maybe a little more out there, but add cocaine to the mix, different deal.
Fuck.
Yeah. Oof,
Fucking
let's get into that
cocaine.
topic. Was that ever an issue for you, Adriana? I don't think we talked about that. I wasn't.
I'm the only bartender in the world that's never done cocaine.
Wow, that is impressive.
Thank
I'm
God.
Yes.
proud of you. Big waste of money.
I give a lot of credit to my mom in certain ways because she didn't realize alcohol was a drug, obviously, but I was always told two things when I was younger. If I ever catch you drinking and driving or doing drugs, that's the end. Now, I got caught with the drinking and driving, but the only reason that she didn't crucify me for it was because I got caught for a DWI in the morning. She saw me in the morning that I got the DWI, and she thought, even from her perspective, she thought that I was just hungover because I had a friend over the night before. I was drinking with someone else. So again, she's like, "What's up with you?" I'm like, I was up late. I was drinking. I got to go somewhere, and I got pulled over in the morning, and I smelled like alcohol. So the reason she didn't crucify me was because she saw me and she was like, I didn't think that either. It was
Yeah.
just still in my system. That's how much I drank. But she really honed in on like, you get caught with drugs, you're out of this house. And my mom led with fear with me, and it worked for a while. So I just didn't want to touch it. And then also when I started to realize how I was like, I probably shouldn't touch that. I really shouldn't touch that because I probably will like it a lot. And then there'll be a really big problem on our hands. Like, I knew in my head, this is already a problem. So, like, I just never touched it. And, yeah, I'm very grateful for the fact that I never got involved with anything but marijuana, which I don't consider a drug. It's like I never did, and I think I shared last time. I mean, I was on a lot of pain medication from being in the hospital, and they were
Wow.
pretty convinced that I may develop a pain pill problem. You know what I mean? But I didn't. Even in years after, because I was given like a fentanyl drip and all kinds of stuff when I was in the
Yeah.
hospital. But over the years, I've had to take a Xanax here and there. I've had to take a pain something for something. It's not my thing. They're not my thing. to this day, I have never gotten hooked on anything like that, thank God. Even when I was taking Klonopin, I was only taking Klonopin because I was trying to stop the shakes from drinking. Once I removed the alcohol, I didn't need the Klonopin anymore. So I'm just blessed and lucky. Stories of everybody. I mean, all my friends, all my bar people, it was everywhere. Just wasn't something I got my hands on, thank God.
That's good. That's good. Did you ever
Yeah,
have
thank God
a
for that.
problem with Klonopin?
With the Klonopin? Well, it's not that I had a problem with it, I just needed a lot of it because I would drink so much. I was trying to s I couldn't drink that much the next day because then I would just be drunk. I was trying to level out. I was trying to stop the handshaking and the sweating
Uh-huh.
and the anxiety. So
Yeah.
I would, have 2 Klonopin and 1 shot of vodka before I would go to work. This is pre when I would got sick, because then I was just trying to level. I
Yeah.
wasn't trying to get all screwed up. And
Right.
I mean, I've even in the past years, I have not touched anything since being fully sober on December 17th. I haven't had a pain pill, a Xanax, or nothing. But even I took a Xanax a couple of times in the last few years. It's never been something that I've been like, I need more.
Right.
I've used that in a good medical way, and that's it. But I even told my mom the other day, this conversation came up. I said, if I ever got hurt and I needed to medically take something for pain, I would have it managed by somebody and I would still take it as long as
Right.
I felt comfortable and I felt spiritually fit enough to do it. If I felt as if it would be a problem, I wouldn't take it. I don't need to think about that. That day is not today, crossing that bridge, but it was something that I thought about, and, I'll worry about that when the
Right.
day comes, but as of now, I can't say that I wouldn't take something that I needed to take.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
When you were taking Klonopin and you were drinking, were you getting to the point of blackout because you were taking both, or you
I
were
was gonna
just
ask
taking
that
it
too.
just to help with the shakes?
It was just with the shakes, what I would do, the routine of that was I would wake up in the morning and drink. I didn't go to work till 6 PM. So I would wake up in the morning and drink like 2 drinks, and then I would go back to sleep until 4:30 when work was coming. And then I would get up and I would take like a shot or maybe like a little bit more than maybe 2 and a Klonopin, and that was enough to stop the anxiety, the shaking, the sweating, and that was it. I wouldn't drink anything more. I would go to work at 6,
Right.
and by the time I always had either I was bartending, so it was all there for me. Or, I always had in my purse if I was waitressing and I couldn't get behind the bag, like get behind the bar. But by like 9, then I would go in and take like another shot because I was busy and I was working. So like I wasn't shaking or anything like that. But then like once it would hit like 9 o'clock, yeah, it would start to onset. So I would have to I wasn't taking a Klonopin. I was like, now it's 9 o'clock. My bosses are going on. I can do whatever now and take a couple shots and do whatever. So it
Uh-huh.
wasn't that I was getting blackout from it. But one thing, I tend to forget the things that I did. I used to take like trazodone at night that was given to me from like a friend and mix it with alcohol to go to sleep. There's many times that I was told that these combinations of what I was taking at night and stuff could have killed me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I almost forget about it. Like, that was when I was like 27, 26, 27. I mean, I'm 40 and my memory's not that great. I mean, I forget that I did that shit, and thank God I'm
Yeah.
here to talk about it. But
Yeah. We
No,
all mixed a lot of
seriously,
things
and
with alcohol that
I
we weren't
could
supposed to.
I could highly relate on that actually because I used to use Xanax highly and I would be intoxicated and this was a daily thing. So I would be taking milligrams and milligrams of Xanax while taking shots and downing wine daily and passing out. And when I
Same.
finally got sober and I admitted this to doctors and to medical professionals, they literally were like, you literally could have killed yourself. You could have died in your sleep. And the amount of times I've blacked out, I've gone to the doctor and I've been told, because I have a really bad memory, like about past things. It's also trauma induced, but it's due to the amount of drinking and Xanax use. And they said it could lead to early dementia, and that's irreversible. So that's what I did to my health.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
was popping Xanax with my pre-funking because I wanted to like have no anxiety when I went out and stuff like that. So I would take like milligram of Xanax and then take like 4 shots and I'd be ready to go. But then after like an hour or so of being at the bar, I wouldn't remember anything after that. And then I would just wake up the next
Oh,
day and my roommates would be like, Ryan, you have to, you blacked out again. We had to help you get upstairs. I'm just like, shit, whatever.
so
Same old thing.
embarrassing.
Let's
Yeah.
do it again.
Yeah, let's do it again. Yeah, and then I would take Xanax like you would, Adriana, just to get the shakes away. So I'd just be that whole
And the
cycle would just
anxiety
keep
that
going and going.
let me take another
So
Xanax and a
gross.
shot for the anxiety that I just caused the night before.
Yeah.
That was
And
my
like,
mindset.
yeah, and the withdrawals from Xanax and the withdrawals from alcohol are two of the most deadliest apparently. So we're combining both of those, which is horrible. Just asking to have a seizure.
Damn. You know what? I changed what I said earlier. I don't miss any of the chaos. I retract my
Okay.
earlier statement.
Yeah. So what's so now that we don't collect bottles anymore, do you guys have any hobbies or things you collect or anything like that? It's a random question. You collect coins? You're a coin collector. I would have never
No,
guessed.
I mean like AA coins.
Yeah, I
AA
understood.
coins, yeah.
Coins, baby, coins.
That's a good
Only
answer.
Like
coins.
coins. That's it. Sobriety coins. That's it. That's all I collect now.
I'm collecting podcast episodes, I guess.
Damn. Yes.
Shoes.
That.
I buy shoes more often.
I'm highly
about you,
obsessed
Rachel?
with cups and figurines of either Princess Jasmine or Betty Boop. That is everywhere. If you guys don't know, I'm obsessed. I've been doing that my whole life, but sobriety made me do it more. So, yeah.
You are Betty Boop.
I am.
You are.
I'm
You
Amy
kinda look like
Winehouse,
You
but
are Betty
sober.
Boop.
House, okay?
And didn't you say you were what's her name, like Melvira or whatever for Halloween? Or whatever
Melvira,
that-
you mean Morticia?
Morticia, yeah, same thing.
What, Elvira? Is that who you were first off trying to say? Let's backtrack on that.
My bad.
Elvira,
I'm not up with it.
Elvira,
whole other
Morticia, whatever.
And Adam's family, something. Yeah,
They're
whatever.
all kind of similar, so I kind of understand. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know,
Weren't you here for
Yes,
Halloween? Have you
Morticia
been Betty
Adams.
Boop for Halloween?
not yet. That's hard makeup to do Betty Boop, but I will one day.
Yep.
Yes, you will.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Biggest glow up area since getting sober. I'm not sure what that means exactly.
I can.
Biggest glow up
You
area.
go
Oh, like
first, Adriana.
biggest area of improvement physically, I assume.
Actually, I wasn't even going to take that as a physical thing. I was going to take that as a my biggest glow up that I'm the proudest of is my job. My
Hell
job.
yeah.
My job.
Really?
Well,
My
yes.
biggest glow up is leaving the restaurant business that I never thought that I would ever get out of. I figured I would be the fucking the 55-year-old bartender behind the bar that nobody wants to see anymore. That they're like, somebody tell fucking Jane to retire over there and get out behind the bar. Her
Yeah.
time is over. You
Yeah.
know, like I swore that would be me. And no, I work in this amazing dental office that my boss is gassing me up to make me like a really big part of this team and this company and this brand that he's creating. And I am fucking with it. And I am
Hell yeah.
breaking my ass to learn everything that I can. I told him the other day, I want to be the Wolf of Wall Street of sales in here, and that is what I will be.
That's
Like
awesome.
I'm selling like
Hey.
big. I want to eventually be selling big dental plans because we're very cosmetic based. And I was like, I want to be selling $30,000 cases of brand new mouths to people that need all their whole mouth redone. Like that is the biggest ultimate glow up that I'm not what I thought I would always be.
That's awesome. Just like, yeah, overcoming what you thought you were going to be in the past and being something even better. So that's awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Wolf of Wall Street minus the Quaaludes and the drinking and
Yeah,
the cocaine.
minus the
Yeah.
sober sales girl. Wall Street
That movie's great, by the way.
is a great movie.
Yes, it is. It really is. Really, for me, is two things. Because if we're going to talk about careers, yes, I'm not even going to say my job. I'm very blessed to be at the job that I've been at pretty much all of my sobriety, and they're like family. But the podcast is a major glow up for me. because that's something I talked about. First off, I've always loved podcasts. The Viral Podcast with Chelsea Lynn. I don't know if either one of you know that, but I'm obsessed with them. Against All Odds, I've always loved. I love Zachariah Porter. I'm just really into podcasts, funny ones. Even when I was drunk, I used to just isolate in my room and watch them. And then I got sober and I was like, I really just want to do a podcast one day. And I got very highly discouraged by somebody who already has a podcast, and they told me it's too expensive. So I kind of like gave up on it. And I said, when the time comes, the time will come. And Ryan and I met, and he interviewed me, and here the fuck I am. And I was on
Yeah,
Kevin
that happened
Lanning.
fast.
Love
And
that.
yeah, like I'm growing as a person. I'm speaking up
Amazing.
about recovery. And I have a voice and I'm myself, authenticity. Like I don't have to be managed anymore. Like that also happened in early sobriety, if you know my story. So because I was part of a group. And so that I ended up blowing up in this podcast, I would say for sure. Facts. And then another one would be my 80-pound weight loss and how big into fitness
That's
I
huge.
am. It's
Yeah,
massive.
that's amazing.
It
Kicking
really
ass
is.
in the
It is.
gym, baby. Such
Yeah.
an
I love the
inspiration.
gym.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, your gym
But
videos are awesome and they're
I
inspiring.
really, really love the gym. I
You're-
love the gym.
I'm very inspired. I'm not doing anything about it, but I'm very inspired to
No,
watch.
Rachel made me want to take the gym more seriously because I was just like running and doing some crunches in my room for a while, and then I was like, "Screw this! I'm lifting hard now at the gym because of Rachel." So
You
I haven't
actually
quite
said to
gotten
me, you
past
make
my
me feel
walking
like a
pad yet, but I'm getting there.
walking pad. I want, okay? But no, you, Ryan, you were like, you make me feel like a pussy from one of the videos that he saw. I was doing I was
yeah,
deadlifting my back, and he was like, you make me
yeah.
feel like a pussy. I don't know if I want to work
I was
out
like,
with
"Thanks
you.
for making me look like a giant pussy." I was like, "I'm
Like,
working out at the hotel when I come visit. Screw this.
you
I'm gonna
didn't
do
work
my own
out with
thing.
me.
I'm gonna use my."
She's pushing us to do better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rachel
just
would
being
outdo me at the
motivational.
gym. So
And what
that's
about
good stuff,
you?
though.
But what about you,
My favorite
Ryan?
glow up would be the relationships I have built in recovery. Just like even from like the counselor that I met at in treatment to just the relationships I've met in meetings to Rachel to Adriana to just everybody I've met in recovery and just how everybody from different walks of life, different ages, different backgrounds, even different addictions. Like I've just built these relationships that have given me confidence that there's great people out there and I can trust all these people and I could count on these people at any moment. Like I feel like if I had an issue, I could reach out to either one of you
Yeah.
and talk to you about it,
Yes.
and I never had that. I felt so alone in my drinking days. Even if I thought I was, popular and had friends that I could hit up anytime, I still felt very alone and I don't feel alone anymore. And that's my glow up.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I do too.
Good.
Because it's
A
true.
lot of great people in my life now. So yeah.
Agreed.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Amen
Yep.
to that.
Agreed.
How about Rachel? Do you have any random questions?
Random questions. I mean,
I've got more. I've got a lot more.
yeah, I don't have any random
Best
questions.
compliment you
I
guys
mean,
ever received sober.
I heard both at the same time.
Best compliment you guys ever received sober.
Go at it, Reach.
that I'm so strong, but at the same time, people misconstrued that because strong people are actually like, I disassociate a lot. And that's not healthy, but I take it as a compliment too because it's pretty badass. I am strong.
Good.
And what about you?
Yep.
I don't know who I was saying that to.
Mine would be just once people started telling me they appreciate how vulnerable I'm being on the podcast, because that was one thing I thought I was going to struggle with the most. Was I was happy to hear other people's stories, which sounds kind of selfish of me, but I was always like going to be timid about talking about my own stuff. And talking to other people actually got me opening up as the podcast grew. And now people are kind of pointing it out. They appreciate my vulnerability and they appreciate that they can relate to me. And that was a huge compliment, just knowing that I'm actually talking about my life finally, which I was scared to do.
I guess the best compliment I've gotten is probably from my sister. I think what she said to me was, "We're just happy to see you being the person that we always knew you were underneath it all." And I think to me that was the biggest compliment because it showed that they always believed in me. They believed that I could be a good human being and a functioning human being of society, even when I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Mhm.
that's the best compliment that they noticed that, I always had something potential. I just couldn't get there, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yep, that's a good answer. What's the most normal, quote unquote, thing now that feels like a luxury now?
Sundays.
I'd say waking up in the morning,
Yeah,
waking up
yeah, like
and not
literally.
feeling like shit. Yeah, just waking up
Yeah.
and knowing I can take on the day, and I'm not hesitant to do anything. I'm like, oh, I can
Yeah.
actually do that. It's
You know,
what
a
I.
lot
The
a
weekend.
lot of people in
Yeah.
sobriety, it's like they have these big things that are so big. I think when you come from a place where everything was so hard to do, when you became such a non-functioning person, that just the normal functioning is like a big deal. You know what I mean? So for us, it's like those little things that seem so normal to everybody else, like doing a load of laundry without being drunk, like, hey,
Mhm.
check me out. You know what I mean?
Yep,
It's like
Yeah.
that is a big deal for us,
huge
so I
deal.
think it's stuff like that, like I did stuff in my apartment, like cleaned out my closet without being fucked up. Hey, give me a fucking,
Yeah.
it's
Yep,
But
that's
it's
all
true.
huge.
It's true. I used to treat myself with wine. I'm like, oh, self care. Let me drink 2 fat ass bottles of wine, self care, and then terrorize
I
everybody.
know.
Like,
Used to,
so
used to
yeah,
pre-funk
it
for
is a
everything.
luxury.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
yeah,
Let's
drunk and
pregame
clean the
for,
house. I'm gonna get drunk, go shopping.
yeah. Yeah. Let's
exactly.
take
It's like
shots to go
doing
grocery
any of those
shopping.
things sober is like,
Yeah, little parking lot fun before going in. It's like, no, wait. I got to stay here and take a shot first. And
right.
I
people would just
used
look
to
at
do
me like I'm
that
crazy.
to
I'm
my
like,
fiance. I used to be like, hold on, John, hold on, one more shot. And I'd pull out like 2 nippets that he didn't even know I had, airport little shots out of my purse. I'd be like, hold on. I'm like screaming at him, taking a shot before we go into
yep,
Walmart.
we needed it.
There,
Jesus Christ.
there.
But
What's the
yeah,
best advice you guys didn't believe at first, but it turned out to be true?
Best advice. Didn't believe at first that it would get better.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
that it would get better, that's you just you don't think it'll get better. You just think that this is your destiny, this is what I'm never gonna be able to do this. I'm never gonna be like the people that got sober. I'm never gonna be somebody who actually is happy sober. I'm never gonna be able to beat this. Yeah, but you do. And then you're like, well, they weren't every cliche saying they say to me in the rooms, I'm like, okay, you're right, you
yeah,
got it. It just turns
it's
out to be
true
true.
though.
it does. It does.
Literally.
And you see people in the rooms collecting those 30-year chips and stuff, and they're still coming back. I'm like, all right, something here works, obviously. So,
Something.
yeah. And they're
Yeah.
happy and they're laughing, which I never thought was possible.
Never,
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. The one day at a
What's your
time and the progress. You had to wait for
couple,
progress. I didn't believe in that.
yep.
Mhm.
What's your guys' couple more random questions and we'll get into one other subject. What's your favorite way to reset on a rough day?
I'm going to take the gym out of the equation for me because people know me as that. So I'll share another side of me. Really genuine. Well, I really genuinely love to just be in my bed with my cats, my candles lit. If it's raining outside, even better, and have a reality TV show, preferably like 90 Day Fiance. That would be my go-to with like tea. Seriously though.
Yeah, mine's just straight reality TV in any shape or form. I can just,
Hmm.
as long as I can zone out for an hour and watch some bullshit, I'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Some
Yeah.
Life will be
Vanderpump
fine.
Rules or something, or Below Deck or something like that.
Yeah, all that shit. I
Yeah.
watch it all.
Yeah.
It's all I want. That's what if I need a day alone, that's what I need a day to do.
Yeah.
My mom's always like, "What are you doing?" I said, Catching up on my shows." She's like, "What's
Yeah.
that?" I'm like, "You already know. You already know. Anything on Bravo, I'm watching it. Thanks."
Yep. So
TLC.
definitely Below Deck. I watched that show.
Thousand
Yes.
Pound
Yep.
Sisters.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, my answer is boring because it's pretty much the same thing. It's like I like to lay on the bed. I'm kind of a diva. I sleep with an eye cover, so I put that on, have my hand on my dog, and have ESPN in the background, just listening to it, and I'm happy. So
Have my hand on
This
my
is my
dog.
night.
You
This
got an eye
is
cover too. Sweet.
it's Bluetooth,
I
and
don't.
I listen to music on
Stop.
it,
That
and
is
that's how
cool.
I go to sleep
Dang it! I'd
every
bring
night.
mine. I need something like
I listen
that.
to
That is cool.
Rain.
All right.
Yeah, I listen to
It's
Rain going to sleep.
amazing.
Did we
I
get
Yeah,
any
it's
of
like
the?
I
any type
almost
of
choked
spa
myself with
music.
one of those. I almost choked myself with one of those. I tried to sleep with the eye thing, and I guess I moved too much, and it was around my neck. So I'm never gonna. No, I'm
Jeez.
never using one again.
I have a nice black padded one that just like puts weight on my eyes and it just feels so good. And I wear
Well,
earplugs. I don't know why, but and a
You must
mouth
miss
guard.
rehab.
It's a whole thing. I wear a mouth guard because I grind my teeth in my sleep. Apparently,
You must be
Jesus Christ.
gem to sleep next to,
just see me
right?
go to sleep. They're just like, "Whoa, this is like a process." I'm like, "Yep."
Well, I also wear silk cap too. So I have on the when I go to bed, it's a silk cap to keep my hair, and then my eye mask, and it's trust me, I'll send you guys a personal picture. I'm not ready to share that with the internet, but I'll send it personally
Do
to you
it.
guys.
I'll put it up on my
Do
story
it.
right after. No, I'm just kidding.
Please. Oh my God.
We're all kind of
She
divas in that
will
way.
tell you.
Did we all do these things when we
I
were
love it.
drinking, or
It's
is
my
this all sober behavior?
This is sober
well,
behavior for
the
sure.
drink. No, this was I've been wearing one of these bad boys for a very long
Prior.
time. I've always needed these to sleep. Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Bluetooth. I've always needed these. I've ordered probably 100 of these. The cap is new. That's just another part of self-care. That's new.
That Bluetooth thing. I need to look that up and get one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bluetooth
that's
headset.
cool.
You need it.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
can play my
best.
Rain on it, and it's
That's what I'm saying.
closer.
That's it.
Yeah, no, I mean the
Nothing
cat
better.
thing I've always had. I always have to have a cat by me. But yeah,
It's a sweet look with both.
Let's see. Finish this last question from me. Finish this sentence. Recovery taught me how to enjoy blank again.
myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to say recovery helped me enjoy living again because I wasn't
Yeah.
living. I was not living. I wasn't living. I wasn't living in any way, shape, or form. Not any capacity of living. You know what I mean? I was breathing, but I wasn't
Right.
living in any way.
Yeah.
For me, self-respect. Self-respect, because I had lost all respect for myself throughout
Yeah.
those drinking days. I just, didn't like myself. And then finally, I was like, okay, fine. I actually do have some self-worth again. Now I can actually use it to grow. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yes.
So, Rachel, any other questions before we bring up an important subject?
No questions. Just again, keep doing your thing. I love these series that you're doing. You're helping like mad people. Like for real.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you are.
I keep resharing certain things because it's just like those, it goes through and as I'm growing, it's like the people that were there a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, the people that have come in the last 2 weeks, they haven't seen any of that. You just always
Right.
remember that. So if you reshare older material, older stuff you've done, it's,
Yep.
Yep. And I notice we all talk about this common theme, and it is called Sober Strong. So I think we
Yes.
should discuss a
Sober
little bit about
Strong.
that brand. How do you guys feel about it? How long have you been working with them, Adriana?
I was the first brand ambassador for them. So
Sweet.
since he came around, Chris and I connected, and
He is
yeah,
so
it was
cool.
just he's
Love
just
that
good
guy.
people, and I'm like very down to earth, and I very much love
Yep.
his besides like the mission, he's not he's not here to impress nobody, and he's not here
Yep.
to make sure you like him, and he's not here to give you what you ask for. He's here for the brand, about the brand, and to really help people. Um there's a lot of these clothing companies that are out there, and we were just discussing how many people reach out to him that want to be brand ambassadors because they want free things, and don't even, I mean, you could ask them what they know about what he does, and they're like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I have no idea. I just figured you'd want me to. Somebody sent like a message like, oh, I'll dance on video for your and then you send me a sweatshirt. He's like, absolutely not. Like, you're not my
What the
people. And he's not going to make you his people. You know what I mean? And I respect that. You know what I mean? So I just love the fact that we're just doing anything that we can to try to give back in any way, shape, or form to these recovery centers that he picks each quarter, and he does his research, and, I think it's a great cause, and if only one day I can do more and do more for the brand and do more, I will, you know what I mean? Because I believe in it and I stand by it. And that's why, same thing, like, I told you guys I had gotten reached out by non-alcoholic beverage companies and like, but I don't drink non-alcoholic beverages. I don't believe in it, and I don't believe in it for me. So I can't represent that. And I had other clothing companies reach out to me, and I'm like, well, I'm not even down with like your whole vibe, you know? So
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you want to do
Chris
something that reflects who you are.
and that's definitely what Chris does. And besides the fact, and again, it's like I've said this a million times, I've gotten sent a lot of stuff over this time frame, this last year, and it's trash. I wash it once, I throw it out. It doesn't last. It doesn't wash well. I wear this stuff. It's the only thing that I wear besides work clothes. It's either this or work clothes. And I wash it and I wear it. It's quality stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't want to, I spent a lot of money on cheap shit and growing up. This is not, this is good quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friends I've had
Yeah.
order stuff and they receive their package. They come to me like and talk about the packaging and they're like, man, I got a t-shirt. The package was heavy. I had to go through this like Ziploc bag and it's got like stickers in it.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this is the real deal. I'm like, yeah, it's amazing. It's quality stuff. So
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
With
And he
instructions on
supports
how to
me
take care
too.
of it.
yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Like I was on like I went into a group call the other night and he was like, "Oh, let me get the link so I can watch." You know what I mean? He wants us.
Yep.
If we're
He wants us to
supporting him,
grow.
he wants to give it back. Some people could give two shits what you're doing, and they're like, "Okay,
Exactly.
great." You know what I mean? That's not him.
Yeah, he's been building us up, Rachel, in our podcast, saying, you guys are on such a great path, and he's excited that to grow with us too, and to be a part of it, and we're excited to be part of his brand, and it's amazing working with him, and we all have the same goal in mind. We just want to be out there helping others, and
That's it.
like
Exactly.
10% goes to recovery centers. That's amazing right there. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
That
they have the
alone, but
impact
his
sponsorship
authenticity.
program too. Yeah.
To me, it's just
Yes.
full blown exactly what Adriana said though. It's like it's not just the brand. It's literally what it stands for one, but the person who created the brand is a real authentic person and he's not going to bullshit you. He'll actually respond to you if you're having a problem in your sobriety. I've seen him do it. I've been on his lives. And that's something I want to stand for too. Authenticity and us all just being a unit and being literally like sober strong. We're doing it. We're fighting the fight, right? And we're going to stand for
That's it.
something that we actually believe in. That's
Yep.
it. We're not
We're
going
all
to
on
be
this
fake.
mission together. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough that he's in New York. So one of these days, either I'm taking the trip up or he's taking the trip down or we're going halfway because I'm like, there's no way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta meet
Hell
him.
yeah.
Rachel and I hope to interview him in person one of these days, hopefully.
I'd love
Sure.
to.
Yep. No, I love the brand. I mean, from hats to hoodies to crew necks to t-shirts. I mean, he's got it all. So
The banners.
The banners.
strongapparel.com. Yep. And the banners. I got one right here.
The banners. I know. Those are my colors right there. So
Yep. Black and gold.
Yeah.
black and gold, baby. Black and gold,
Yep.
everything.
Yep. Love it.
Black and yellow.
Yeah,
black and
Adriana, we
yellow.
appreciate having you on. Before we go, let's all kind of give a little advice to listeners out there, people that are sober curious, people that are struggling. What advice would each of you give?
Rach, go ahead.
Do what you say and say what you mean. I know that's tough love. And it's not as easy as it's said. But when you say you're done with something, prove it to yourself. Fight the fight. Do what it takes, whether that means go to meetings, go for walks. I'm not saying go start lifting and taking pre-workout. Take care of yourself. Start taking care of yourself because you've been taking care of yourself like shit for so long. It's time to love yourself. So get at it.
I love that.
Mine's going to be never stop trying. Seriously, you can restart your 24 hours at any point. And just because you had a drink at 9 a.m. doesn't mean you have to have one at 2 p.m. You can restart at any moment of your day and never stop trying. If I stopped trying, I wouldn't be sitting here sober because the amount of times I tried and I failed, but I never stopped trying. And that's how I got here. So that's the only way you're going to get here is if you promise yourself you'll never stop trying.
I love that. Mine would be if Gumby, Ratchet Rachel, and Everyday RPK can get sober and become happy people, so can you.
Amen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Praise
It's so
Jesus.
true.
We're enjoying sobriety. We rep sober strong. We're all on a good path right now. So we're all growing in some way, And Adriana, you're an inspiration to so many people. And Rachel, you inspire me every day. So I'm proud of
You
all of
guys
us.
too. So
Yes, seriously.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show, and appreciate both of you.
you got it, guys. We'll do this again sometime.
Yep.
What the fuck was that? Who do I think I am? A gunslinger?
That
Man,
was
I gotta
cool.
go now.
Bottom with Ryan. No bullshit, just recovery.